Rock Through It here, back again on our video. 2000 year in review continues with WWF SummerSlam. When you look at this card, it's a pretty impressive card. We got The Rock versus Kurt Angle versus Triple H in a triple threat match for the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship belt. We have The Undertaker versus Kane with the first ever tables, ladders, and chairs oh my match with Edge and Christian, the Hardys, and the Dudleys. We got Chris Benoit versus Chris Jericho in a 2 out of 3 falls match. We have Shane McMahon versus Steve Blackman in a hardcore title match. Seems all well and good. But then you have X-Pac versus Road Dogg, The Cat versus Terry Runnels, and get this, a stink face match. A mixed tag team intercontinental championship match, and a whole lot of weirdness going on. This show is, I hate to say this show, but it's a pretty fucking disappointing show to say the least. To say the least, it's a very disappointing show. So we start off with the Right to Censor defeating Too Cool in a pretty crappy opener. Nothing left to say about this. It was just whatever. The Right to Censor. Whatever. I actually like the Right to Censor. They were a really entertaining tag team faction. Whatever. A 3. X-Pac defeats Road Dogg in a pretty terrible match. These two were just not the right opponents for each other. A 2 out of 10. Next up, we have Chyna and Eddie Guerrero defeating Val Venis and Trish Stratus in a tag team intercontinental championship match. They did this at King of the Ring with a tag team belt for a tag team match for a singles championship. So they did it here, and I fucking hate that. That's how David Arquette won the WCW championship belt. I fucking hate tag team matches for a singles title. It's stupid. Stupid. Chyna gets the victory, which means she's the Intercontinental Champion. Stupid. A 4. Jerry Lawler defeats Taz in a match that pisses me off so bad. This match pisses me off because WWE likes to sit there and say WCW never made any superstars. And they like to say that WCW didn't make anybody, that they kept getting the new talents and like keeping them down. And every time I hear that, I just like to think, WWE, you're a fucking hypocrite. Vince McMahon, you're an out-of-touch, overbearing, old-ass bitch. You're an out-of-touch, overbearing bastard. That's what you are. You don't know what you want. You don't know what the fans want, because the fans don't know what they want, because you're out of touch. You're out of touch. You're out of time. And every time your company says, well, WCW doesn't make any stars, yeah, here you go, being fucking hypocrites. Any person from WCW or ECW coming from, whether it be Taz, or Benoit, or Jericho, or Eddie Guerrero, or the Dudley Boys, with the stuttering gimmick, or giving Taz stupid lame crap to do, or fucking having Eddie Guerrero playing second fiddle to fucking Chyna, or having Benoit lose 8 pay-per-view matches in a row, it seemed. You're fucking hypocrites. Because if you weren't made in the WWF or the WWE, Vince McMahon didn't make you, you wouldn't be anybody. And I hate that philosophy, and you can fucking... This match pissed me off so bad. It's really one of the big reasons why I hate Vince McMahon. Anyways, Jerry Lawler beats Taz because Jim Ross smacks Taz in the face with his candy jar. I don't understand this whole gimmick with the candy jar thing with Jim Ross's candy jar. What the fuck? This is like the 3rd or 4th time they used it. He used it at WrestleMania. A lot of weird shit. Dud. In case you couldn't tell. Steve Blackman defeats Shane Douglas to capture the Hardcore Championship. You remember that time when I talked about the Human Torch match and how Sting plunging and falling 50 feet while on fire was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life in wrestling. Well, Shane McMahon, minus the fire, took a giant plunge off the Titantron. He made that spot look so phenomenal and look so incredible that the Human Torch fall was fucking even stupider. 6.5 out of 10. Easily Steve Blackman's. It's by far his most memorable match. And it's a fine gem for Shane McMahon as well. A good hardcore title match, and Steve Blackman pulls out the victory after a giant impressive plunge that looked pretty legitimate and looked pretty damn good. Unlike the Human Torch one, which looked like shit and looked phony as fuck. Then we have Chris Benoit defeating Chris Jericho in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Of all the great matches they've had in 2000, whether it be the Backlash match, the Judgment Day match, SummerSlam match probably by default is the worst one. Still, however, it's a great match nevertheless. And 8 out of 10, a great match. We have tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my, for the World Tag Team Championships. Edge and Christian defeating the Hardys and the Dudley Boys in the first ever tables and ladders and chairs. Oh my match. Tables and ladders and chairs. Oh my, tables and ladders and chairs. Oh my, tables and ladders and chairs. Oh my. Fucking great. A 9.5 out of 10. Yes, it's damn near close to a 10. A great match nevertheless. By default, of all the 3 ladder matches these 3 teams have, a lot of people say by default this is the worst one, but I still think that WrestleMania 17 match is way overrated. I prefer this TLC match to be the best TLC match of all time. Seriously. A 9.5 out of 10. Then we have the Cat defeating Terry Runnels in a stink face match. Terry Runnels is a hoe. Straight up. And not in a good way. She's a hoe. Ruined Dustin's relationship with Dusty. A hoe. Fuck her. The Cat, sexy. But there were a lot more sexier women during this era. Zero. You like looking, I guess if you want to look at great asses, sure, phenomenal. That's what every guy wants in wrestling is to see 2 hot bitches almost naked fighting and slamming their butts in each other, but honestly, it's pretty fucking stupid. 0. Undertaker and Kane go to a no contest. This should have been great, like most of their matches. Actually, it's just their WrestleMania 14 and their Inferno matches that are really great, but this match ends in a no contest. I don't know if I should rate this or not, because it only lasted about 3 minutes and there's really nothing to it. They just brawled a lot and Undertaker ripped off Kane's match and it was over. I guess if I was going to rate this, it would be a 2, but that's all I would give it, a 2. Then the main event, we got The Rock, Kurt Angle, and Triple H in a triple threat match for the World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Championship belt. This was a great match. However, The Rock is just thrown into this. It's just Kurt Angle versus Triple H fighting over Stephanie McMahon. In the beginning, about 5 minutes of the match, it's just Triple H and Kurt Angle beating the shit out of each other. Triple H pedigrees Kurt Angle through the table, and unfortunately the table collapsed way too fast, and Kurt Angle gets a concussion. It could have been a lot worse. Triple H's knee looked pretty bad. This was a pretty bad spot. A pretty horrible spot. And The Rock comes out, and The Rock and Triple H work out the rest of the match. Kurt Angle comes in because Stephanie McMahon told him so. Jesus, I guess, them bitches. It's all about getting the bitches. Because the girl told you to continue fighting. I guess he wants that pussy. Whatever. This was a fine match, but honestly, The Rock didn't belong in this match. It was just really about Kurt Angle versus Triple H, and it's just one of those things where the world champion just gets thrown in the mix because he's just a world champion. Whatever. A 7 out of 10 as The Rock retained. Fine match, but there was a lot better main events. Overall, SummerSlam 2000 is a very disappointing show, and I do not at all recommend. I recommend the 2 out of 3 Falls match and the TLC ladder match, maybe even the world title match, but other than that, there's not really... It's a disappointing show. There's a lot of shit going on, but really it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary shit. I mean, X-Pac Road Dogg sucked. Jerry Lawler and Taz pissed me off like crap. Terry Runnels a hoe. Fuck her. And the rat. It's. I don't know what to describe this show. It's a poor show. That's it. Done. A 4.2 out of 10. I catch you next time for Fall Brawl and Unforgiven. And the next ECW show doesn't come until Anarchy Rules. See ya. Boy.